Minister for IT and Panchayati Raj, Telangana Government, Chairman of the Governing Council, Professor Raj Reddy, Director, Professor P.J. Narayanan, Professor Kamal Karlapalam, faculty members, graduating students, members of the media, a very, very good afternoon to all of you. Now, it gives me immense pleasure to be here at the 13th convocation of the graduating students, batch of 2014. Right from my days at TCS, our association with IIIT Hyderabad has been special and steadily growing to become one of mutual respect. In fact, under the TCS Research Scholar Program, I am told that 17 research scholars are being supported. This respect derives from the fact that IIIT Hyderabad stands out very clearly, differentiated from others, in being a research-oriented institute. In today's knowledge economy, it's economics, not politics, that brings power. Economies are driven by business and technological innovation and advances. Strong science and engineering PhD programs are precisely the catalyst for this amazing growth of China. As per a study, India's share in R&D spending to the global R&D spending stands at 2.1%, while the share of China is about 12.5%. Also, the number of PhDs have been growing at the rate of about 9% in India, compared to about 18% in China. So if India has to be technologically strong, research is an imperative. In the context of the new government at the center, Prime Minister Modi has spoken of his vision to turn India into a research powerhouse. There is a go-ahead for exploring the feasibility of setting up research institutes with the help of private firms in the fields such as pharma, IT, biotech, automotive. These will, I am sure, give a much-needed fillip to the research ecosystem in the country. IIIT Hyderabad can take the lead and play an aggressive role to become the foremost research destination for students. Both the scale-up of number of PhDs produced, patents filed, and of course the application and impact on the ground, and doing with a speed is absolutely critical. Secondly, to the credit of IIIT Hyderabad, it's amongst the very few that are neither government nor privately funded, but whose aim for a sustainable revenue model and wish to be in the league of the IITs. And why not? You are at the front end of research in many fields, specializing in the areas of IT and its application, whether it's language and image processing, computer vision, or whether it's at the crossroads of computing and civil engineering, such as in the areas of computer-aided structural earthquake engineering. Your VLSI and embedded system is largest in the country. To the graduating students here, I must say that you are fortunate to have passed through the corridors of an institute with such a strong research focus even at undergraduate levels. Your education has groomed you for a mindset that is inquiring and research-oriented no matter what your profession. Never lose this quality and in fact nurture it always and stay in touch with each other to find out the latest on everything. Alumni networks are more important than we think. Professor Rajiv Sangal, who recently moved to IIT Varanasi, will, I am sure, continue to carry the baton of research in his new role. India has many complex problems. These are across developmental, business and economic needs. This calls for a higher order of interdisciplinary thinking to be brought in. It's at the convergence of disciplines that innovation happens, and therefore the permeation of knowledge between streams, creation of new courses in such subjects, are the ways in which institutes like yours can carry and stay tuned to the needs of the new emerging India while continuing to stay differentiated. My own company, TCS, has been associated with the language group of your institute and had sponsored a multi-year alliance with IIIT for collaborative technology innovation. This, I believe, is an extremely important but vastly under-leveraged area. There is a huge need for language-enabled devices. We have the basic expertise already right here in your campus. What is lacking, though, is general awareness among stakeholders. It's all about creating a market demand. How do you create a popular market for something? Take a leaf from an unlikely source. India's growing wine industry has successfully created a market where none existed. A visit to Nasik will tell you how middle-class folks have acquired a lifestyle that includes a wine on the table. I believe it's all about marketing, and this is perhaps a weak point amongst researchers, articulating research to an idea, then converting that idea into a market opportunity, then going a step further to create a market for it, to create a popular want amongst people for a product or a service is a tall order, but that's the excitement that drives entrepreneurship. A great opportunity for entrepreneurship awaits at the cusp of industry, academia, partnerships. This is where ideas meet business opportunities. I'm aware that IIIT Hyderabad already has collaborations with Microsoft Research, Yahoo, Nokia, and Samsung, but these are all MNCs. We need more large Indian corporations to become research-focused. There's no dearth of talent in our country. There's no dearth of intent as well. What is needed is for a few Indian companies to show the way by forging large-scale partnerships in areas of significance for the country and for the business. This could well be a three-way partnership that ropes in government as well, very much like what is happening in the chip manufacturing with a 63,000 crore investment, one of the biggest investment announcements in the domestic manufacturing sector. The overall electronics product market in India, which was around $39 billion, is expected to touch $65 billion by 2015. This is not surprising given the proliferation of electronic gadgets, from tablets and set-top boxes to personal medical devices and automotive applications. Seen as eventually reducing our import bill enough to dent the growing spend on oil imports, this could be a very significant game changer in the country. Eventually, chips may no longer be imported by India, but what kind of hardware will they find their way into? In our quest for satisfying the needs of high-end, high-tech consumers, often neglected are the needs for simpler, low-cost products required by the masses. Low-cost, simple phones for retired senior citizens is an area of research activity today. Phones with big keypads, enhanced audio, bigger fonts on screen, enhanced audio levels, and an SOS function for help in case of emergencies are being offered.